Who would like to participate in reminding us what happened last week?
I used my I know a thing from all of the research before we left to get us a layout of the academy.
Good use of an I know it.
Which meant that we knew about a back entrance that the other five went in so that we could infiltrate the OCA office and hopefully get some information while Estella went on a date.
Lycra didn't get the opportunity to wear a military uniform.
Nope. Oh, that's right. Jesus Christ. Moxie.
Is a succubus, apparently.
Yeah, Moxie went and stole a couple uniforms and then trashed one. Estella is currently on a date, while the rest of the group is rifling through the OCA office, and they found some interesting top secret stuff about the general we're looking for.
Mm-hmm. They want the
Both an address and a kill order.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that about sums it up. That's where we ended.
Yep.
So let us start, I think, probably with Estella. You had, I think, intuited that there was perhaps more going on here than met the eye. I believe you are still at dinner.
Mm-hmm.
What you up to?
I think it's mostly just small talk at this point.
Okay. All right, so I think in that case we will leave Estella at dinner and rejoin our other five. Well, actually, that's not true. Let's rejoin Moxie as she is wandering around the campus of the academy, slightly separate from the rest of the group. What is Moxie's current objective?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I remember Moxie was trying to social engineer something, but she was trying to find the general, and she'd know that we have the address of the general at this point, correct?
Yes, I believe.
Or at least a lead for.
How far does the psychic reach?
It's a mile, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so then Lycra doesn't have to waste a message spell.
I think what had happened was Moxie had a plan to ask some secretaries about where she could find the general because reasons, and
that's her way to figure things out.
Yeah, and she had poked her head in the OCA office and saw that there was nobody in there, and so let everybody else know. And I think that was the last time we saw where Moxie was.
Yeah, and I'm just not sure. I don't think she would have stuck around there, but I just don't know where she'd go from there is the thing.
I mean, you're not required to go do something if you just want to say after finding the address you rejoin the rest of them. That's perfectly fine. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to.
Except I think she would just keep doing something. I just don't know what that is. How about we come back to me? Unless you need me to go now.
No, I was just giving the two solos an opportunity to do things before they perhaps get called or something. So, in the office of the OCA, the four of you stand, having just discovered more information than you were seeking. What do you do about this?
I copy down the information in a cipher so we have a copy of it in case we lose the original.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I want to continue to investigate to see if I find any context in other papers of like, what the fuck?
Okay, I'll say you have exhausted these four offices. So one is now inaccessible due to a broken lock, and 3 of them have been thoroughly searched. If you want to access more offices, I will allow you to make more investigation checks.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head over to the other side of the hallway. Give me a D4.
I also ask who is with me, Ashish and Lycra, to help me.
Okay, so you head to the first door and discover this one to be not locked.
Anyway.
Lycra will turn to the not Quas's character, the other character, and ask when they're done making the copy of the information. Do you want to check out that locked room still?
The one with the broken lock?
Yep.
Way of getting in?
Because I can always bamf us inside there.
Can you get us out without spending extra energy?
It's not a critical resource for me.
Okay.
Then I will dimension door the two of us into that room once he's done making his copy of the information.
Okay.
So we're splitting the split up party into a new split up party.
So you can split the splits.
Kieran, you're making a copy of, I assume, the address? Yeah.
The address and just the pertinent information.
Okay, and then I assume because you're making a copy, you're returning these papers to the desk.
Yeah. I don't want those going missing.
Okay.
How good is your forgery skills?
He's not making a forgery. He doesn't need a forgery.
Well, if he was decent at making a forgery, he could leave the forgery behind, so we could take the original as evidence, was what I was going to suggest.
Maybe. Let me take a look at his skills.
Okay. While you're taking a look at that, for Zol, you've discovered that this particular office is unlocked. Do you open the door and go in, or what's your plan?
Yes, I open the door while signaling Ashish to move to the next one.
Okay. Ashish, your door is locked. If you want to try to pick it, you can give me a lockpicking check. And Kwasi, go ahead and give me investigation. Jesus. Okay.
Why? Can I do 1 second rant?
Sure.
So, Soul has been rolling so bad all this game. I find that it's dice making a story. Like I feel like I made a cool character, and I feel like he feels he's cool, and he doesn't do the thing.
He's just a little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in your office you don't find you do find other copies of the same two notices, but nothing interesting that's new.
Is it normal to find more copies of the same paper?
I would say you would not find that unusual. The information being distributed to each individual is a military thing. Like memos, that kind
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For Ashish, you, without much effort, pop open the second office. You can make an investigation in there if you would like as well. Very good. Yeah, unfortunately, you arrive at the same result as Zol, but with a little more confidence that you're not going to find anything new in any of these papers. You correlate it with the stack of papers that you've seen before, and they are basically identical. It looks like the identical amounts of memos have been distributed to all of these offices.
Hmm.
Let's check back in with Kieran real quick. Were you wanting to make some rolls here?
Yeah, he's got a decent sleight of hand, so I think he'll attempt his hand at a forgery.
Then
Okay.
Lycra will lay Bardic Inspiration on you.
Let's do a fun thing, and
Yeah.
you tell me what your bonus is to that, and I will roll it for you, so you don't get to know how good it is.
+9. I will note, I give you permission to roll a psionic thing if it is indeed a failure before you can determine if it's a result or a failure.
Okay.
That's how it works.
And
It's a D.
do you want to just automatically use the Bardic, or do you want to?
I'll use the Bardic automatically. The psionic, the way the psionic work is, it's like basically a reaction to a skill check. So
And the Bardic is a D12.
Yeah, so it's a D10 for the psionic and a D12 for the inspiration. So I'll use the inspiration immediately.
Okay.
Maybe we can say that they just use it like before because they want this to be good. So you don't need to figure out if Nimbus uses it or not.
Is the psionic an expended resource or no?
Yes, I have 6 resources left, and I can regenerate 1 on a short rest.
Okay, give me an insight check then. Okay, you're feeling pretty good about the forgery. You don't think it's necessary to use the psionic.
Okay.
And yeah, you think it looks pretty good.
Okay. Be right back in a second. I just got something from the side.
Did you have Lycra use any spells? I know you had her use one Bardic Inspiration.
I think it was just a Bardic, yeah. I don't
Okay.
remember actually using a spell. And I'm pretty sure I would have marked a spell slot if I had. Okay, so you have left a forgery of the kill order in the place and taken an actual one. You have also, I believe, dimension door inside the office with a broken lock.
That's the plan, yep. So we will pop in there.
Okay, I'll say at this point, I don't even think there's any point in having you make an investigation roll in this office. You have a look around, you find similar papers to what you found in the other office, and are unable to uncover anything new.
Is Lycra able to pop the broken lock open from the inside?
It is certainly possible. Trying to decide if I want to make you roll or if you can just do that.
Hello?
Hey there.
Hello.
Okay. My mouse died. I'll be BRB trying to find the cable.
Okay.
I could also use Mage Hand to try to apply pressure in multiple ways.
I'll tell you what. You can open the door without a problem. I will let you make a sleight of hand check to try to disguise the fact that the lock is broken by messing with it from this side.
Okay.
So hit. I got 22.
So 75% chance. Alrighty. No.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to get the door open without an issue, but the lock is still noticeably broken. So on the ground floor, there are still 2 offices that no one has looked in, and then there is 8 more offices upstairs if anybody wants to have a look through those.
Lycra will take just a little bit of time, like 5 minutes, to act like she's a drunken person bumping into the wall outside of that office, and then shoulder check the door so that it looks like somebody broke the door while stumbling drunkenly through the hallway.
Okay, give me a strength check. Or, yeah, strength
So,
check.
just to know the area, this is not a place where supposed to be drunk people around. Right?
Actually, can Kieran intervene before that?
Go ahead.
Do you know mending?
1 second. All right, my headset reset itself, so I should be back now.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Good.
Does Laker have mending?
No, she does have prestidigitation, though.
Okay, so
Kieran will point out that making it look more obvious is going to make it more suspicious.
Well, I was
Yeah,
going
and-
for the opposite, with it looking like somebody fucked up, and they need to investigate their own co-workers for being a fuck up.
This is spy network.
Yes.
They don't allow
and
people to be drunk on duty.
either way,
There are
5
fuck ups in
strength
every
check
industry.
Is not enough to break a door, so
Yeah.
the door is not broken.
Yeah. Wasn't really trying to break a door, was trying to make it look like somebody had tripped into the door or whatever, but if it doesn't look deceptive, it doesn't look deceptive.
Yep, the dice don't want that to work, unfortunately.
Yep. No, that happens. I don't think I have any other good solutions, because magic would leave far too different of a trademark on the hallway. I will use prestidigitation to hide the attempted scrape, since the doorway being accidentally shoulder checked is not going to work.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, you can
clean.
no problem.
I'm gonna move with the sheets to the next set of offices.
Okay. The 3rd one is locked. The 4th one is not locked.
leave the
Lycra
lock
messages Estella.
You're gonna have to use sending.
Yes, Lycra sorry, I meant sending, not messages. But yeah, no, I'm just giving Estella the have found an address and a kill order, period.
Okay. You receive that probably right at the beginning of dinner.
Estella would say back, kill order for who?
Okay, I thought it was obvious, but I guess David and Lycra might be different. So, can I roll an intelligence check for Lycra to say a kill order for the general?
I'll say Estella, give me an insight check. Yeah, that's high enough to
Is it?
intuit the meaning. I mean, I picked 12 in my head before you rolled.
my reason I'd argue it is because she just told you she found an address for the general and a kill order.
No, you said you found an address and a kill order.
Yep.
Yes. And what
You
we're
didn't
looking
say
for
for
is the
who.
general.
Nope.
I would like to argue that is not, like, I don't know that...
Okay,
Estella might
again,
make
the
that
only
jump
thing we're
after
here
about a
for is
minute.
to find out about the general, so I would think that Estella's gone stupid if she didn't realize that.
Okay, guys, let's calm down.
No, I'm
yeah,
just
what
saying.
what if we just move on to the next thing? We can
Okay.
say that information was given.
So back to Zol and Ashis, investigating the third and the fourth doors. As I said, the fourth one is not locked. The third one is locked.
Sneaky boy, take the lock one. You know how to do it.
All right.
Lucky and lucky.
Let's see that roll. I believe we established last time you can't fail, right? Yeah. So this one gives you a little bit of trouble, but you still managed to get in. Let's get investigation checks from both of you.
Hey, above a 10.
Okay. I will say that's enough for Zol to... Not sure how to word this. I guess noticed that some of these doors are unlocked. Ashis,
Yes.
again, you find the same papers. Nothing stands out.
Like the idea crossed my mind. Wait, what are some of these unlocked and what are some of them locked?
Yes, correct.
Wait a minute.
I will say also, because it's not hidden, a 15 is high enough to notice that there is a jacket on the back of one, or not a jacket, but like a piece of clothing hanging over the back of one of the chairs. Or the chair that's in the office.
I want to touch the couch to see if it's warm.
Okay, yes, so not immediately occupied, but there has been somebody here, you would guess probably within the last hour or two.
Okay, last hour or two, not that last couple of minutes.
Right, correct.
Oh, I am linked to the whole connection, Linky, right?
Yes.
I say through that. I think these are not as empty as we thought. I don't think we have company right now, but they could be back at any minute. Be careful.
And then we should leave. We should have.
Can someone ponder me this? Why some of them are locked and some of them not?
People working late, people forgot, people on a break, but we should go.
How many offices we have left?
The bottom floor has been completely searched. There are 8 upstairs.
Who's in the telepathic loop?
It was, you were with us, so no. It was Stella and 3 people. Or the 2 other people Kieran works with.
Yeah, it was Estella, Zol, and Moxie.
Okay.
Okay, I say both telepathically and go back to tell them in person to the group. Okay, I don't want to risk we blatantly found out. If we need to come back to the second floor another day, we'll come back. But this is enough. We have to run. What we came for.
I would recommend we send at least one of the stealthy boys to go check the address, so that way we know whether the general is still there and still alive.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. But after we get out of here, I'll go. We go.
I tried to talk, but no one else is talking, so I guess no one's responding to you, so I guess we're just leaving.
Okay. So you all head out of the office building. What is your destination?
Did we have any other buildings that mattered?
Not that you have identified now.
No, I think it makes sense we leave because we know that our route is dangerous. We got the important information we need, and anything extra would just be bonus that is outside of what
Lycra
would
will
put us at risk.
Lycra will drop another locate person for the general on the way out, just in case he is closer instead of being at the safe house that he's supposed to be at.
That's a mile, right?
Yep.
No, he is not within range.
Good stuff. I will maintain it while we head in that direction unless someone thinks we should go somewhere first. Lycra wants to go with the stealthy boys, basically.
I think it's good that we reconvene in the safe house first. First, get
And he
out
can
to
be
the
dead by
safe
that
route.
point. Unless recruiting him isn't an option.
That's something we'll discuss in person. No, it's not something I want to discuss while we're on the move.
Yeah, it's hard to discuss it where not everyone here is involved.
Okay. I'm
Not
going to go
everyone.
find out if the general's already dead. Please update me if you figure something out before we find out if he's dead or not. And, Lycra will remain with the group despite saying that, so she's obviously using mislead.
Okay. Let's see.
So I'll have to drop concentration on locate creature to do that.
Yeah. And the invisible real Lycra is going to the general's
Yes.
house?
Because that way she's very unlikely to be spotted. Since neither of the stealthy boys wanted to go.
Okay, give me 1 moment, please.
Okay, I missed that part.
Well, I was talking about the infiltration group, not missed, so it's okay.
Mm.
Not missed. You know what I mean. Ashish, not missed. Although I guess Ashish is so stealthy, Lycra would never know if he went off on his own.
Okay, so the group of 4. What is your current destination?
I was planning back to the safe house. I didn't hear any.
Did you
Lycra one.
telepathically tell Moxie before you guys took off? I guess would be an important thing as well.
Yeah. I both said in person and on the link. Like, we're going back.
Okay. So you all are headed back out. Moxie, what is your intention?
They're going back out the way they came in, right?
Yes.
I think Moxie's gonna go out the front door.
Okay. So the three of you that are corporeal, please. Let's see. I guess it would just be Ashish that needs to give me a Constitution saving throw. Okay. That is not super great, but you're not spending a long time down there, so let me give you a little bit of damage here. So you take another 3 points of damage negated by fire resistance as you cough your way through the fumes on the way back out. Lycra, are you also headed out through the tunnels, or are you just going to invisible through the front gate? What's your plan there?
I'm going to go through the tunnels with the others just because that's the route that I need to walk both bodies anyways, so...
Okay, go ahead and give me the con save with advantage, please.
Sure.
Only Ashish does the concept?
Ooh. Oh, sorry, what did you say, Kwasa?
Does any else of us need to do the concept?
No, because you're natives, you're not enjoying it down here, but you're not in danger of
Yeah, I remember.
being
Okay,
damaged.
thank you.
So same thing for Lycra. You choke on the fumes a little bit and take 3 damage.
Thankfully, you
probably
rolled a
less than
3,
that.
so it's 0, but it's close.
And as you all successfully exit the grounds of the academy, Invisible Lycra heads off towards the address, while the rest of you head back to the safe house with Spectral Lycra. Let me get a survival check from Lycra.
There we go. My
Okay.
dice showed up after all.
Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so let's see. The group of you arrive back at the safe house at about the same time Lycra arrives at the general's house. However, this takes a little bit of time. So let's check back in with Estella to see if she's got anything going on while still at dinner.
Oh, I remember. I had wanted to find an excuse to surreptitiously use mending to see what Thassa's reaction is. To me,
Yes.
magic.
Okay,
I don't know, maybe I break a glass.
yeah, so I assume your intention is to not hide it from her, but hide it from the rest of the inhabitants of the restaurant at the moment.
I don't want her to know that I purposely broke something.
Okay. Since this is magic based, I will allow you to make a sleight of hand with advantage because of your gloves. Jesus, how do you have an 8 sleight of hand?
She's the big bad evil.
There is a reason. I don't remember what it is. Oh, it's just proficiency.
Okay. Yeah, so she definitely sees this happen. There is not an expressive reaction of any kind. She seems to just observe you do this.
Okay. I kind of, like, after I, pick up all the pieces of glass and make the wine glass like new, I give her kind of a guilty look and put the glass back on the table, like, whoops.
She will nod and lean in and give a bit of a conspiratorial whisper and say, I won't tell anyone.
Thanks. Can I ask how prevalent that kind of stuff is here? I know Liz has made kind of a splash.
Normally, people tend to not break glasses.
Hey.
I would say magical ability in general is fairly rare. Recently, however, and she just kind of trails off and shakes her head.
Recently, however?
I think this is the point of the conversation where you need to roll a persuasion check.
Okay.
The population in general, but specifically those with magical abilities, seem to keep going off to war and not coming back.
Do I get the sense that that's maybe a personal thing for her? Devils?
Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking. Yeah, I guess go ahead and roll an insight there.
Okay.
There's a little something there, but you can tell from the way she was speaking, she's just talking more generally right now.
Okay.
But yeah, you catch a little something being suppressed.
Maybe someone she knew but was not super close to.
That's a reasonable interpretation.
Okay. So said, well, that's a little scary.
More people left in the city that have any sort of ability like that have learned to not make it obvious. It would be wise for you to do the same.
Estella kind of fiddles with her wine glass. Right. I can do that.
Give me a perception check. In the middle of your conversation, with no apparent reason, you notice her kind of jump a little bit and then like shiver, basically.
Okay.
Lycra. You approach the general's house. Give me a perception check.
Sure.
Is it a big house, a lush mansion, something in the middle of nowhere?
Okay. So this is a fairly standard-looking residential house. It's one level, surrounded by houses of a similar nature. What you do notice is the front door is open, and there is an individual in a dark hood and cloak standing outside the front door, and the just absolute largest devil you have ever seen in your life on the inside of the door, facing one another. You're not sure if they're talking or fighting. Could be either.
The Titan looks like the description of the general.
Yes. And you do also notice that the front window is broken.
Okay. Lycra is going to get within range to cast temporal shunt, but is not yet going to interrupt the situation.
Okay. Please.
So within 120 feet. And if she can be under cover while she's doing so, all the better.
Yeah, there's some bushes and stuff that you can hide in. If you want to give me a stealth check, you have advantage because you're invisible.
Oops, that's survival. Stealth is 5 points less.
Can everybody see things?
Yes.
Yes.
Green map, black building.
Catman.
Scatman?
So the
Mandu?
cat that you can see is at the front door, and you can just see this boy just inside the door.
Yep.
What did you roll?
It would have been
Stealth?
a stealth, so it would have been 5 points lower, so it'd be a 15.
Advantage?
Yep.
Yes. So you're observing, and then another round of actions happens. Give me a moment.
Oh my god.
Wait a minute. That's too many. Ignore that last roll, Quasta.
Oh.
All right. So I'm going to be reacting then.
Okay, roll initiative for me then, please.
Sure.
Fuck.
And I will temporal shunt the melee assassin.
Okay, so you rolled a 21. So you even go before the general. Okay, so that's a wisdom 18.
Yep.
Okay, so that...
Cancels the melee attacks entirely.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought that made them disappear.
It temporarily blinks them to the end of their round, sort of thing.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, in that case, they disappear. Their damage is negated. And you see the general turn around and step back inside the house.
Woo!
It's a mighty punch.
Okay, it is now your turn.
Alrighty, let me just double check sending. It is an action. Okay. I'll
just give you the information that it took you about 15 minutes to walk here.
Yeah. It's too far for anyone to be assistance for backup immediately. So, I will double move. Should not have been so far away. Oh, well. Oh, okay, it's not that far after all. Cool.
Yeah, these are 1 foot squares.
Yeah, so I will move. I believe I have a movement of 40 feet, not 30. No, it is 30. Huh, why did I think it was 40?
You're thinking of Pert.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So Lycra will move to within the doorway.
Okay. Number 1 is not currently there, just so you know.
Yep, he is temporarily shunted out of reality. And Lycra will call out with a vicious mockery to the one the general is fighting.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
And her vicious mockery is something like, "You call this an ambush? This is something a toddler would set up."
Wisdom 18. I will also say at this range, you notice the general is very severely injured.
Is it just the two that I can see so far?
Yes, the one that you have shunted and the one that he is in melee with.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, the one that he is in melee with grabs his head in agony. Anything else on your turn?
No, that'll be good for my turn. I have an action and a reaction. I'll give the bonus. I'll bonus action Bardic Inspiration the general.
Alrighty. Let's see. So the first thing that happens is the general makes his attacks. He can't roll better than a 2 on that, apparently. Okay. And then this one will disengage and run further back into the house. This boy reappears. Says, well, not quite a yell, but calls something out loudly. Also disengages and begins running away. The front window shatters as another one comes flying through it and following your other guy here. And one that you had not noticed previously also becomes visible and begins running away. Whoops. Now I'm hacking everything up. So they appear to be running away at this point.
Where is the third one?
Sorry, I'm working on unfucking the map here.
Okay.
There's the third one.
So the one that was to the left isn't there anymore? Okay.
Yes. So this guy is off the map because of how it is.
Just at the edge of the
and
map. Okay.
The other two are just at the edge. Yeah. And then one ran into the house somewhere.
Yeah.
And that will make it your turn again.
Okay. Lycra wants to show off for the general because she's already made an opinion on the situation. So she will go 30 feet closer to them. And then I will use Steel Wind Strike.
All three of those hit. Okay. Yeah, you feel like that is not nothing to these individuals, but it's also not going
Not
to
enough to drop
murder
anything
them
yet.
or anything. Yeah.
Okay. Because they have disengage, I don't want to use. I probably should have used dance instead, but you can still run when you're dancing, so Guess that doesn't matter. Wait, can you still run when you're dancing?
No.
Ah, damn. I should have used dance instead of Steelwind. Oh well.
Yeah. Hindsight is 2020.
Yep. And Lycra will. No, I'll pop out right in the middle of them still. So, see if they react or not if they keep running.
Okay.
So I'll pass my turn.
So as you end your turn, you can't see anything that happens inside the house, and all you see from these three individuals is that they seem to step sideways into the shadows and disappear from sight, and then you don't know what happens.
So back to my turn?
Yep.
Okay. Then Lycra sends a message to the, well, no, Lycra doesn't need to send a message to the trio. Lycra will send a message to Estella. Interrupted an assassination attempt on the general at address. And Lycra opens her eyes to the group and repeats that same statement.
Okay. I think at that point we can leave initiative.
Well, fuck.
Can you get the general out of there, back to the safe room?
Are you not more than a mile away?
Oh, yeah. No, he's... David's using sleep so he can
Well,
communicate.
David's using his clone.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So can you exfiltrate the general out of there and get him to the safe house?
Will attempt. One assassin is unaccounted for.
Okay. And is there any reply from Estella?
Is this around the time that I saw Thalassa have her strange reaction?
It would be several minutes after. There's not a temporal correlation with those two events.
Okay. I will just reply back with understood.
Alrighty. And so the thought from Kieran was to try to bring the general to where you are, or somewhere other than his house, rather than you go there. Is that correct?
Basically, yeah. Like, he's already burned, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
It's already shown that someone's trying to kill him. All he knows is that someone is trying to get him someplace safe. He doesn't know who we're with.
Well, when you have a -2 to insight, rolling a natural 20 is helpful. Okay. In that case,
Lycra will run into
you
the
are-
building to find the general first of all.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check. The first thing you notice is 2 patches of blood in the entranceway. The one where the general was standing is much larger, and a coat rack seems to be overturned. You head into the house and are able to hear noises of some kind from a hallway to your left.
Then I will bolt down that hallway.
Okay. You are presented with several doors. The one that the noises are coming from is closed.
Lycra will call out the general's name, bolt up to the door, and throw it open.
Okay. You attempt to throw the door open and cannot. It seems to be not locked, but blocked from the inside by a piece of furniture. The general will call back. Who goes there?
Lycra Cato. I am acting as an independent agent. We received a copy of a kill order in your name. I wanted to try to interrupt it.
Who do you serve?
As an independent agent, I serve myself. We are in cooperation currently with name of the demon of the other nation.
Okay, specifically her name and not the fact that she works for Nessus.
Specifically her name.
Okay, let me see if he's ever heard of her. What is history? Int? Or
Int.
what is-
Int.
Okay, go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Yep. That was going to be my request, so.
You hear a scraping sound of what you assume is the large piece of furniture that was in front of the door. And the general will step back from the door as you open it. And you see that he is gathering what appears to be, some clothing and various items that he's going to take with him as he leaves.
I drop an 8th level healing word on him.
Okay. Among which is the biggest fucking sword you have ever seen. Think like the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII compared to an 8-foot tall demon.
The sword that the Lover's Pair armor was using?
I am not familiar with this.
Yes, you are. You created the creature. In the basement of the temple, there was the mage and the knight.
Oh no, bigger than his. This demon stands a good foot or two taller than that guy did, and the sword is significantly larger. So you give him 28 healing, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, he is certainly grateful for the healing, and some of his wounds close a little bit, but you can give me an insight check.
Sorry.
15.
Okay. I don't think that's enough to get an accurate estimate, but you think that's a bit of a drop in the bucket compared to...
Yes. He is a big guy, and it looks like he's better than he was.
Yep. He looks you up and down and raises an eyebrow in a mildly unimpressed way, but gestures to you and says, 2 are better than 1, I suppose. Lead the way.
I appreciate your confidence. Do you have any stealth skills of your own, or are you at the mercy of the population recognizing you?
He gestures at his brick shithouse stature and shakes his head no.
Yeah. Have you ever wanted to be a horse?
Oh my god.
That's interesting. He, the equivalent of loses his turn, being, we'll say, stunned by that question. And you also hear a door in the back of the house burst open from the inside as you think something is escaping the house.
I suppose that was the last assassin I didn't see run off. I have the ability to turn you into a medium-sized creature if you think that would be a better way to get you safely across the city. Cat, horse, Animals.
A cat the size of a horse?
Meow.
Oh god, what are the cats called? The Maine Coon. I want Lycra to walk into the base with a Maine Coon across her shoulders.
He eventually recovers his facilities after being asked such a wild question and shakes his head and says, I would prefer to be in control of my own body. Thank you.
Of course, it was merely a suggestion. Lycra will attempt to lead him out of the estate and through more back alleys and stuff back towards the safe house, using the others to check in and try to coordinate a meetup on the way.
Okay. So you start heading that way.
And every second round, I'm going to give him another healing word at first level just to try to pump him up.
Get up.
Okay. It's gonna take you longer to get there than you have spell slots to do that, so just let me know how many spell slots you're willing to use.
So there's 2 more for 12 more HP. And I'll do 2 more again. Two more for 9 and 9. So I'll leave it with that because that's all of my first level spell slots, and
Okay.
flexibility is still more important than maximum HP.
Yeah, he still looks well bloody after that, but is grateful nonetheless.
So yeah, stealth / survival to try to back route us through random paths to get towards the safe house.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage as he is helping you navigate the back routes.
I want to point out while they're doing that, as soon as he warns us, Saul would try to route the people up to go back to help them quietly, like not making an stampede in the middle of the street, but like going there.
The reason why I was doing that every second round is Lycra is checking in literally every 12 seconds with the other group. So she's kind of going dumb every once in a while.
All right, so after a good half of an hour, because you are taking a quite circuitous route, you will arrive back at the safe house. But before we deal with that, let's check back in with Estella and see if anything is going on.
I mean, shit's going on, but there ain't anything I can do about it, so I'm just here having a nice time. Watching Thalassa very closely.
Okay, you're trying to see if she is in any way involved in this?
Yeah.
Give me an insight check.
That should not be an advantage.
Oh, okay.
15.
So 15. Okay, I mean, she doesn't appear to be receiving any kind of communication. Fairly close to the first time it happened, the jump and shiver happens a second time, but then, for the next 20, 30 minutes or however, you don't notice it happening again.
Okay.
Hold on a second. With the second one, she seems a little more caught off guard by it, and when something doesn't actually hurt, but there's like the implication of pain and you react to that implication
Mm-hmm.
is kind of like that.
Okay. I think after the second one, Estella says, "Are you okay?"
She makes eye contact with you like she didn't notice that this was happening externally. And then, yes, everything's fine. Tries to reassure you that no problem.
Okay. So, want to get out of here?
That receives a grin, and she is quite agreeable to this idea. I believe you had indicated that you were trying to pay this time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope that my prime material gold works just fine. I actually have some now.
Yeah, no problems there. You settle up and head out. Okay. I think that's probably about a half hour there.
Mm-hmm.
So Lycra arrives back at the safe house.
Uh, I think unless someone wants to say otherwise, I feel like in emergency situations, Soul tends to start giving orders. So let me know if someone wants to say otherwise. But Soul will ask Ashish to be in the roof and the lookout if someone's coming in, and ask for someone to heal the general and get him inside.
I think Lycra will conduct introductions before stating flatly the situation she encountered. And then second set of eyes, Lycra will be a block or two away, just watching to make sure no one else comes that way.
Okay. Yeah, if you're... And Zol, you said you were going up on the roof to look out as well?
I was asking Ashish to do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does Ashish do this?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lycra and Ashish both give me perception checks, please.
Ouch. Lycra is apparently distracted by the brickwork.
Okay, so for the first little bit of time, you don't notice anything in the area. Either of you. As the general is taken inside with, let's see who's in there, Zol and Moxie and Kieran.
Mhm.
Yeah, just the three of you. He...
And primary Lycra.
Oh, right, just your images out looking around. You notice at this point this telltale signs of adrenaline wearing off, and he seems a bit shaken as he probably just sits down on the floor and begins thinking.
I give a look to Moxie and Kieran and try to play the comfortably friend way, like I don't know, putting water to boil for a tea, giving it a blanket, saying it's giving a good couch. And we're gonna attack, but there's no rush.
Does anyone show proficiency with medicine? Just an out of character, is someone with talent with medicine helping him?
Moxie is not skilled with medicine.
It seems like none of us three are known for medicine.
Then Lycra will attempt to treat his wounds.
Okay.
Poorly.
Check. Yeah. So again, just you know that your healing has helped some, but he is significantly more endowed with hit points than yourself.
And there's
I don't
no
know how else
sign
to
of
phrase that.
poisons or anything?
No, he doesn't seem to be suffering from any long-lasting effects other than just the wounds.
Okay. Then I'm going to assist Zoll. This is RP wise. I'm going to assist Zoll with the attempts to negotiate / befriend him, so that way he knows we are coming from a friendly position.
Okay. Yeah, after he has caught his breath a little bit, he will look around and try to figure out which one of you he should talk to. And he will start by saying, "This is not a safe house I am familiar with. What division are you with?"
Before we discuss that, you should read this. Just hand over the copy original of the orders.
This is the paper I told you we intercepted.
Okay. Go ahead and, Kieran, give me a persuasion with advantage.
Oh, this is going to be great. He's not trying to persuade him, but I have horrible persuasion.
Well,
Yeah,
then can Lycra roll instead?
Well, that's the reason he's getting advantage. I will say, if you want to use a bardic, you can also use that here.
Sure. I'll use my second last bardic.
All right. 23. He will read it over, and his eyes somehow both grow wide and narrow at the same time. Quasta, for your records, you can record Kieran as having rolled a 19 on that sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm. On what? On the
forgery, yeah.
Forgery. And they live. They're showing the general of the region, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool.
You see him mulling over what this could mean in his mind.
Honestly, there's a lot going around. Right now, you would need to try to think, which I don't know if you have.
He will read this and say, "Presumably, then you are not with the OCA."
No, as I told you, we are aligned with, repeats name again, the humans or prime material planers are visiting and happened to stumble into this situation. But we felt the fact that they were trying to murder one of their generals to be enough of a thing that it was worth looking into.
I don't think you even need an insight check to figure out that he has no idea who that is.
So give Lycra a look like shush.
In fact, he will even say, "I'm not familiar with them."
I asked the circle pretty here. Should we tell them who we're aligned with?
Let me walk through that. I will wait till the silver tongue ladies tell.
My suggestion:
Hey, no.
rest of our group will be back soon. Maybe it's best if we're all together. Explain. Just you're safe here. Recuperate.
I'm giving him a glass of coffee. As much as I would like to make the decisions here, there's someone else who's better that you talk with that's gonna explain everything better than I could do. Why don't we don't just wait here just so they come back?
Moxie pulls you two to the side.
Hmm?
We're an elite group of soldiers on this mission. They're just nobodies. Why are you deferring to them?
Because they were
Because-
in charge.
Were they?
Yeah,
Yes, they were. Very much so.
this is very unorthodox, so I don't know whose blame is this. I don't know how much the lady name, what's the our boss. I don't know how much our boss actually know about this. If
Oh,
anything
Yaloth
happened,
is the.
yeah, I don't know how much Yellow actually knows. If anything happened to
Yellow
us,
made it very clear to us that we're here to support them.
I know.
We're here to keep them alive.
Yeah, my main objective here is one, keeping them alive. Two, anything that happens, it's their fault, not ours.
That too.
Third, get out of it. But while we're at it, it's their show.
But hear me out here. If we can get the general back home on our, and we get the credit, that's some good money for us guys.
As they're off in the corner talking, Lycra, you see something click in the general's mind, and he just says to no one in particular, the OCA was impersonating agents of Nessus.
Well, they don't do a good job of it, in my opinion.
And he starts rummaging around in his satchel of stuff.
Lycra continues to bandage random wounds and stuff whenever he's not moving around. Basically
Let
just
me,
staying close and being friendly to try to get in good with him.
Do Sol knows if Moxie is good with words? Ty?
I think he would.
Sorry.
I think Zol would know that, yeah. Whether or not she is.
Moxie is good with words?
Moxie's good with words. I suck at them.
Okay, I said to Moxie, okay, you can work your magic and see what info we can get before the lady gets here. I'm worried General's not gonna sit idle for too long, but I don't want to make him upset with wild ideas for the time being.
Moxie goes up to the general and it's like,
Okay. So as you approach the general, let's go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break there.
Good choice.
We will rejoin the action shortly.
Checking a break?
yeah.
a return.
Welcome back.
I say more to you, sir.
Mao.
Hey, Nibbles.
Hello.
Did you bought the things?
Yes. They will be
What do you
here,
think?
here at some point. I don't think I've gotten a shipping number yet.
Hey, Nimbles, dumb question.
Hmm.
Is House of Dragon Season 2 set up to auto-download Flex already?
I believe so. Let me just verify that real quick.
Let me ask, because the premiere is tonight.
Oh.
Speaking of, Plex mom wanted to send special thank yous for uploading all those weird movies that nobody else wants to watch, just for her.
Yep. 6/24.
Nice.
No, wait. 6/16. That's today. Okay.
Thank you. I was going to ask about that one as well.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Are we waiting for anybody else?
No.
Meh.
I believe I've heard everybody speak then. All right, so jumping right back into it, Moxie approaches the general.
Do you have a Jamie?
Yeah, she said she was back.
Oh, okay, sorry.
He has removed from his pack some paper, a thing to write on, a thing to write with, and a large ring. And he appears to be writing something.
Is the language identifiable just from Lycra's casual glance over the shoulder?
You can assume Infernal pretty safely.
Okay.
Is it in code?
Yeah.
No, but he is not immediately willing to give you a good look at it.
Okay, so he's being guarded.
Yes.
Is he using the ring to like decode something, or is he just grabbing it and putting it on the side?
It's
a
just
signet
sitting on
ring,
the
isn't
side
it?
right now. Yes, you can see that it is a signet.
Okay, I was going to talk to him, but don't interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. She will just stay nearby and probably try and grab a glimpse.
Okay, you can make a sleight of eye roll. I don't know how that works. I guess probably just
Ew.
Perception
Yeah,
or
perception
stealth
works.
to walk by unnoticed to read what he's writing.
I don't want to think of a sleight of eye.
This
yeah,
is not the eye you're looking for.
perception. It's fine.
I would like a stealth or a sleight of eye. Yeah, you said perception. I will roll perception. I think it's funny.
Yeah, since he's already aware
yeah.
of you. Okay. Yeah, you're not really able to get a look at anything. I will give you the way it is like formatted. It just appears to be orders of some kind, but you can't make out any of the words. After a minute or two, he will finish writing and seal the paper using the wax and the ring, and he will tuck everything back into his satchel and appears to just be thinking.
Do you have Sorry, what did you say, Kawasta?
I asked him, "Who's that letter for?"
I'll let
Uh,
them talk instead.
orders to my contingent. Hopefully, there are some who are more loyal to me than these.
I have a dumb idea, Nibbles.
Okay.
So Moxie has the ability to see through solid objects.
That's true.
Oh,
Can she read a piece of paper this way?
Paste the ability in chat.
Functionally X-ray vision.
Let me find this.
Or what's it called?
By the way,
can pull it
if
up.
I have, there's just so many abilities on Moxie that I forget which is what.
Isn't it like Devil's Sight or something?
Nope,
Yeah.
that's the dark vision thing that I have.
Ghostly Gaze.
it's long.
Because it's all the Eldritch Blast. Or Eldritch Invocation.
Yeah, so I would say no, because you would be wanting to only see through part of an object, not the entire thing, which this doesn't seem to allow.
I'll accept that. But I want you to respect my hustle.
I will say if you were to use it, you would be able to see the inside the satchel, but that's about it.
Yeah, not worth the risk. I might need that later. We might have a boss fight. I must hoard everything.
But he will regard all of you and say, I'm heartened to find that there are some, at least, who are still loyal to me.
As a
Again,
general with your
neutral
name,
third party.
As a general with your name, I'm sure there's not a minor division that will alliance with you rather than anyone else. Now finding them, that might be tricky.
Do you have a personal next plan before we have our other members join us and offer you alternatives?
Well, as my business here in the city is concluded, I intend to return to the front lines. I'm sure that I will be safe there.
Do you still tend to return on the front lines?
Wouldn't that just give them more options to make your death look like an accident?
I find it difficult to believe that a conspiracy of this nature has spread that far unless you have evidence to the contrary.
I don't think we have evidence to that, do we?
Whose signature was on the kill order?
There was not one.
That's not usually something you sign. I'm surprised it was in paper at all.
One could assume that getting rid of someone as influential and powerful as you would require high-level orders, certain people to be in the know.
Especially
he
since
considers that and nods and says, of course, but determining who in the city that could be would be the problem. I think it's better to just avoid the situation entirely.
Nibbles, could you let me know if what I'm saying is wrong? But I think Saul would say, like, you are very well decorated general, and you were doing a number on the front field. What did you do to make some higher up that angry with you?
Give me an insight check.
Classic soul.
So he replies kind of dismissively and says, there are two main paths to power: competence and the removal of obstacles. Those who are less competent opt for the second option.
So you don't think this comes from above, it comes from the same level as you?
He meets your eyes somewhat aggressively and says that would be treason. And you can tell that he's indicating what you've said is tantamount to treason.
And Lycra,
Or perhaps as an interested third party, you are unaware of our structure. There's only one more powerful than I.
yes, and that's why I'm only asking questions. I wouldn't want to suggest treason if you weren't certain of it yourself.
Also, only treason if you get caught.
Sorry, just to be clear, he's not saying that her trying to kill him would be treason. He's saying that you implying she would do that is treason.
Yes, and Lycra's response was essentially saying, of course, and I wouldn't want to suggest treason to you unless you were certain that you were being targeted by the head
I
demon.
think that was in response to Kieran.
Lycra, just roll a d20 for me.
Sure.
All right, thank you. He doesn't immediately say anything else. You can see he is turning things over in his head.
Lycra will take out her inscribing work and start working on it. Which would be the first time she's done it openly in front of the new group.
Yeah, sorry, enchanting, you mean?
Yes, sorry, enchanting, not
Okay.
inscribing.
Yeah. Yeah, he just continues to sit there and think. He probably will not speak unless somebody else brings something up at this point.
Nope,
Like
Kieran
Go ahead.
wanted to wait for everyone to come back, so he's just going to wait.
Has Kieran indicated that he's tried to inform Stella they want her back?
He can't. It's out of range.
Okay.
Yeah, she's at range.
Have you indicated to to Lycra that you can't reach Estella anymore?
He would have informed the entire group of the maximum range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go.
I think it's reasonable to assume Lycra knows that Estella is not in
Then
the telepathic thing anymore.
then once we've established the general isn't just going to immediately charge out of the safe house and run off somewhere right now, Lycra will send Estella another message just informing her that we've got the general to the safe house. He is currently considering what we've talked to him about. He appears to be strongly loyal still, and plans to head back to frontline.
Okay. I will just ask you, Chamie, at this point, is there anything mission-oriented Estella wishes to accomplish tonight?
Ideally, Estella would like to try and get Thalassa to open up to her a little bit more about what, like, there's obviously something going on there that she hasn't said to Estella about.
Mhm.
I realize that there is a limit of how much bond I can build over one night,
Yeah.
but I would like to try to make her feel comfortable enough. That she might open up. If not, that's okay.
Okay.
But I still have my glibness spell to burn.
Gotcha. What I will say is, at the point you receive Lycra's message, you have just gotten back to her house. Just give me a general charisma check, and I will ponder what that means as we go forward.
Can I use glibness now?
Yes, if you would like.
So this is a 20.
Okay. And then, is there any reply that you'd like to send to Lycra?
Lycra tried to phrase it to make it clear that she felt the general will wait, but she doesn't want you to rush home from your date if things are going okay.
If he leaves, don't try to stop him. Just don't lose him.
Understandable.
All right. So, returning to the group of 5. An uneasy silence descends that the general doesn't seem to have any intention to break. What do you all get up to in the minutes and hours that follow?
I need to help, like maybe from Mabel and also from the rest of the group. I feel like our group will be accustomed to this side of thing. Maybe not with a general, but like this is our first rodeo. But I don't know what to do in this situation. At the same time, I don't want to do nothing, but I don't know. I don't want to do something stupid. I feel like Saul and the rest of the group will know what to do, but I don't know what to do.
Send people out on patrols.
Let me give you some information before you make any decisions. Roll an insight check for Zol just to see how much he can piece together. Okay. So just the basics of what's going on here. You don't think the general has figured out that you are from Nessus. He seems to still be operating under the thought that you are from Phlegethos. And he is under the impression that some rogue faction of his government is trying to kill him. I don't think I could give you anything more than that with a 5.
Yep.
I
Go ahead.
What's your goal in this instance?
What is our goal? Our main objective, what the mission is to find out why he leave the front lines, right?
Our main objective was to eliminate it.
No.
That's not true.
Yes,
No?
the main objective was to find out why he left. Eliminating him was an unspoken secondary objective.
Okay.
So we gotta get that note to it and then have him die.
So you can ask him, Kwasa, but if you don't think he's going to give you the honest answer, what's going to make him more likely to give you an honest answer?
I feel like we're stepping here into the messy parts of war. Like in actual war, this will involve maybe torture, and I feel like what's more reasonable is to drain all the information that we get from the general and then kill him. But I don't know if we want that type of game.
Or
I was-
you can play along.
Or has the group / Estella established that we have a safe alternative to exile?
I
This
think
is-
it might have
this
been
is-
discussed briefly as either get him to quit the field permanently, removing him from the board, or turn him. Which would be even better because he would be a wealth of information.
Yes. And so, with the others getting into their own routines, once Lycra's done her work with magic, she can only do one of the two because the other one she doesn't have spell slots left. Lycra is going to make a point of talking to him more and getting to know him more. I think what I'm trying to do subtly with her is trying to let him know that Lycra is very much not aligned with anyone. She is just a neutral third party.
Okay. To convince him of that, I will take a persuasion check.
Would it be
Yeah,
persuasion or deception? Because we are legitimately aligned with Nessus.
That is a good point. Yes, Lycra is technically working for Nessus, so yeah, I will say deception. You bring a good point there. I would also give me an insight check from Kieran. Okay. Yes, Lycra, you seem to be able to bring him around to understanding that you are not allied with the government of Phagathos in any way.
I figured I had a good head start on that with the whole A, interrupting the assassination, B, just not knowing bugger except about the military rank.
Yeah. And for Kieran, I can't give you any information with that, but I will ask you a question.
Mhm.
Before talking with the general, what was your assumption about where this order came from?
To kill him? The
Mhm.
internal order? From Semrush.
Okay.
That was his assumption. Order would come from the top to remove one of he correct me if I'm wrong, and if this is not obvious information. He is like a head general. He's not like
Yes, he is
he's a division
one
commander.
of the 2 5-star generals, essentially.
Yeah.
I would just point out then that the two of you have a difference of opinion on this.
His opinion is this is a play for her to fire up her troops and validate the war against Nessus even further, because she may be in fact losing, which I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, may be fair to say given his history, everything, and like intel reports.
I think we're at the point where I say you rolled an 11.
Fair enough. He will draw his own conclusions from it.
Yes.
I was going to say, how's the history of the war been going from your point of view? Because ever since he disappeared, it's been going worse, right?
For them, yeah.
For them.
Exactly. So you could try attacking from that direction.
I mean,
Maybe
it's not even an attack. Like, I would just tell him to not do anything. I would just kill him. if that's the case. But Kieran is very much of the opinion: why break a tool when you can use it?
Yes, so am I.
So
I was thinking of something from else, but I can't give you that, so go ahead.
I'm gonna make some bullet points. I don't feel confident enough to talk with the general yet, but some bullet points of things that feels interesting. Uh, it did like the question is, one of the question is, did he left the front lines, or he was taken out of the front lines? Uh, is he was in this house? Why was in this hideout house and not in his own house? Maybe an option to make him have good vibe with us is tell them, like, if you give us any clues, we can start looking around who is actually the one who in charge of this assassination and getting his trust, and also getting more information.
Or just convince
Um,
him that helping Nessus would end the war and save lives.
yeah, we need to also know where does he stands, because obviously he is loyal, but he's loyal to the people, like want to save their country, or is he loyal to the government and just gonna follow orders? We don't know anything on that side of this person yet.
That's why I'm waiting for the talkers to get. I know Kieran would follow the sword. He's not even trying.
That's
Yeah, I
something
feel
Lycra
like
might as well start gathering information on, Nibbles.
Sorry, repeat the question.
What his loyalty really is. Is it to the country, to the city, to the general, to the honor of war?
To his men and women.
Okay,
Comrades in
so
arms.
you're engaging him in conversation, trying to figure that part out.
Yeah, I'm basically trying to
examine what you
subtly
already
do
know?
a BuzzFeed personality quiz.
Okay.
Obviously more subtle than that, but you know what I mean.
I think this is a persuasion followed by an insight.
Sure thing. Kittens are annoying.
Okay. He is still fairly guarded, but just based on the way he's talking, you would guess his primary loyalty is to the country itself, but just based on the way the power structure in the country is structured, that is essentially the same thing as being loyal to Semirich.
Semirich is the lady, right? The queen.
Yes.
And do I get the feeling that if he actually was convinced that Semirich tried to kill him, he would still go back to the war?
I don't think you have a feeling about that one way or the other. What I will say is you feel like that would shatter a lot of preconceptions that he has.
Understandable. And Lycra will show him one of the hidden bedrooms in the safe house. I'm not showing him the manor.
Okay. Yeah, he will. Actually, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, he will. Thank you, and is prepared to settle in for a long rest if that is where this is heading.
I don't want to rush Jamie back, so I think so.
I was going to suggest setting up just a watch or a patrol route for people, because there was an assassin that got away. It could have followed
Would
us.
it,
Followed you.
would it make sense that literally Saul says, okay, so in like to the general, like you know how shit is going. I'm gonna be sitting in your room. Is that okay?
He nods and says, "Thank you."
Okay, I'll bring up a chair and switch my filter in the mask and just let me know if you guys need anything.
Give me 2 seconds here. Okay. So you are setting up a watch rotation. Is that accurate?
Watch patrol. So Garrison's just patrolling around the outside.
Okay. So go ahead and give me perceptions, whoever is involved in that.
Shadow Lycra
I'm
would have
sitting-
faded away by now.
I'm sitting inside, but I'm gonna roll too.
Lexi will take a shift, but dear God, her perception sucks.
Lycra will do a watch shift with Moxie.
Okay. So the first portion of the night will pass without anything out of the ordinary happening or being seen. Let's switch back over with Estella here.
Mhm.
Without going into too much detail, after some time passes,
Mm-hmm.
I think she would start the conversation by asking, you said you thought you were leaving the city soon?
Yeah.
Disappointment again.
Why?
Oh, I'd like to see you again.
Well, just because I'm leaving the city doesn't mean that I can't see you again. At some point.
Is Estella there implying that she will come back, that Thalassus should come with her, or something else?
I don't really know.
Okay. In that case, I will just have her make an inference.
Mhm.
She'll shake her head and say, I am unable to leave.
Unable or unwilling?
I can't abandon my duty.
I understand. Do you need anything?
She begins a reply in the way that someone would give that flippant, $1 million reply.
Mm-hmm.
So you see her start to say something that you can tell she thinks would be absurd, but stops herself before you can figure out what she's trying to say.
Raise an eyebrow.
Give me a persuasion check, and I will say you have advantage.
Was that good, was it?
As I recall, I lost your charisma check, but I recall it being fairly high. Jesus, I can't roll for shit. She gets very serious looking and says, I'd like to be able to leave.
And go where?
Anywhere.
Anywhere but here?
She nods.
Estella kind of flops back on the bed and just thinks for a minute.
Make a history check. I don't know if that's enough. It's definitely not enough for me to say it right out. I don't know how to give you a hint, though.
Oh, I didn't even realize you were going to give me something. I didn't know what I was rolling for.
Okay, in that case, the information I will give you is that you were rolling to make a connection between this scenario and something from your past.
Hmm. I get up again. I get very serious and I say, if you wanted to leave right now, could you? Physically, could you?
She shakes her head no.
Okay.
She raises an eyebrow, seemingly catching the fact that you perhaps know more than she thinks you do, and says, it's a strange question to ask.
Is it?
Yes? She is looking at you, trying to discern whether or not that was random and lucky, or if you actually know something.
Thalassa, I'm going to take her hands in mine. I realize we don't know each other that well, but I need an honest answer.
She has a bit of a trapped animal look. to her eyes.
Is this serious?
That trapped animal look does not go away, and she starts stammering a little bit. Make an insight check.
Just for the viewers, are you meaning what serious? Their relationships or they wanted to go?
Her wanting to go.
Oh, that is not... Sorry, I thought you meant
Oh!
what was existing between you and her. Between her and Estella.
I guess Estella probably picks up on that with a 21 and says, no,
Yeah.
no. Your wish.
Oh, okay.
Is it serious?
The panic subsides. And she seems to be evaluating whether or not she should tell you the truth. Which I think with a 21 insight you can take as a confirmation.
Okay. I'm sure you can realize that I, human, got here somehow. But I understand that if you wanted to come back with me, there's a few extra steps involved.
For me, what are the steps that Estella is thinking about here?
I'm assuming that the thing with Yeffin is what's going on with her.
Okay. She'll shake her head and say, "I nowhere would be safe if I were to leave." Which kind of lines up with what Yeffin told you.
Yeah.
Not even kind of, it very much does.
What is that? Is that they feel like they cannot leave, or is it true?
Closer to true, but not exactly true. God. If I were to tell you that it's possible, a long shot, but possible, would you believe me?
I would be interesting to hear more.
I know someone who was once in a position very similar to yours, and I helped him get out.
I don't know how she would phrase this, but the thrust of the question is... I don't know how to say this. Basically, she's asking you, like, did you steal it? Or did you help him do something to earn it?
I helped him do something to earn it. I understand that they meant that might not be an option for you. Unless it is.
She will shake her head no and say, not least of which being the only person that could release me is hundreds of miles away.
If I wanted to steal it, where would I look?
Well, historically, they are kept in a vault in the palace. Either there or with its owner herself.
How big? They're like... She's not walking around with an entire vault of these things.
I mean, each individual one is basically a slightly large pendant on a necklace.
Okay.
But depending on how many she has, if there's like 12, she could easily walk around with 12 necklaces. If there's
But she's
hundreds,
not walking around with hundreds, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a very effective method of inspiring blind loyalty.
Mm-hmm. If that was to, say, go missing, would she know?
Other than physically noticing it, no.
Hmm.
Not that it would matter.
Well, and Estella has a very confident smile on her face. If something should happen, and those, what do they call the end? Soul shards? Soul?
The translation of the word, which I'm not going to attempt to pronounce, is mind trap.
Mind trap. If those were to...
Apparently has a French origin.
Ah. Be... I'm blanking on the word. If the yours or multiple mind traps were to be set free into the light, would that maybe change things?
She would know that all that really needs to be done is the individual who is trapped would need to break the thing themselves.
Okay.
If I assume possibly the idea that someone else breaking it might come up, and she would tell you that that would mean death.
Okay. Well, that's a bit of a stumbling block. Estella is saying all of this out loud. I think some of the artifice has dropped a bit here. Estella's getting excited.
I think at this point, slightly disbelievingly, she will say, "You're serious, aren't you?" And assuming the answer to that is yes, please give me a persuasion check.
Koisova, I believe.
You can see that, not to say that she wasn't taking you seriously before, but like it kind of turns into like she is recognizing that this is something more than just random blind confidence and bravado.
Would you be willing to help me? I don't need a lot.
If I can.
Let me go talk to my friends. I might be staying in the city a little longer.
You can tell that first idea is not very appealing, but that second idea is quite appealing, and there's a conflict there that eventually resolves into okay.
Like I said, Thalassa, not my first rodeo.
All right.
I guess I'm going home tonight.
Okay. So I will say at this point it's well past midnight. As Estella arrives back at the safe house, let us take another quick break. We got about a half hour to go, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
When Lycra and Moxie's watch turn comes up, Lycra wants to talk to Moxie about how do the demons replace their leaders when a leader dies or disappears? Is it via democracy or is it via violence?
I think
We'll
it
need
depends on
Nibbles
what
here.
part of the world they're in, but Nibbles needs to be back for that.
Yeah. That would be my assumption as well. Depends on the country. Some of them probably establish order succession. Because obviously the news guy is like second in line for taking over the other country.
I return.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
I have a piece of life advice for everyone.
Hmm?
Merely placing the wet clothes inside the dryer does nothing. You have to also turn it on.
Actually, it does less than nothing. It makes it mold.
Well, that's over a much longer time frame than the past, hour.
Yes, but what I'm saying is it does start to do something.
Did anybody else leave?
I am here.
No one said they were.
You're not here, say something.
Quasta might have.
So it would seem. I assume that Mist is still present.
I was saying when you were gone, Nibbles, that when Moxie and Lycra's watch turn comes up, Lycra wants to talk to Moxie about how the different demon nations replace their leader when the leader dies or disappears.
Mm.
But we obviously needed you to be here for that conversation to actually happen.
And everybody should be here for it.
Yes.
Planet, are you here?
Yep.
Not
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Okay, so Stella arrives back at the safe house. I guess y'all tell me what happens.
I mean, I assume maybe Lycra and Moxie's conversation can happen before Estella comes back.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Moxie, if you would like to roll a history check.
conversation?
Lycra is wondering about transfers of power in the Hells.
Not in your
So,
lifetime?
yeah, what Moxie knows is that transfers of power are very rare, have not happened in her or probably her parents' lifetime, and any examples that she can think of from history have not been the king is dead, long live the king. It's usually one nation won a war and, lines get redrawn.
Yeah.
This would eventually lead to the logical question of, are these archdevils immortal? As far as anybody knows, no, but they are fairly long-lived.
And is there a way that you can tell someone's a viable archdevil, or is it just they just haven't died yet, so clearly they must be, if not an archdevil, potentially an archdevil?
The metaphysical nature of devils versus archdevils is not something Moxie is at all familiar with, nor is it something I've thought about. So,
Does Moxie have an in-character opinion?
Can I get the question worded again, please?
Does Moxie think she's ever met somebody she thought could be a viable archdevil?
Me.
She, Lycra, laughs at that and gives you a gentle shoulder hug. What about the general?
Too willing to die.
You've got a point.
Sorry. I realize I emoted this in real life.
I've
You
done
looked
that.
at the door, back, looked at the door, back, looked at the door. Too willing to die.
Lycra looks both disappointed but also in full agreement. And Estella either walked in during that conversation or right after.
Mm-hmm.
And Lycra will point to a door, put a finger to her lips, and then put hands to the side of her head to indicate probably sleeping.
Oh, I thought you were on the roof, sorry.
I mean, we're probably watching from a balcony or something, but I think you said it was a 2-story warehouse, right, Nibbles?
Actually 3, I think, but yeah, that's fine. Yeah, at that point, if you would like to make your watch rolls, you can do so.
We did that earlier. I screwed up
can
and got
you-
a 14. Moxie got a 22.
14 and 22, okay. Okay.
The fact that Moxie's perception is so much lower and won by that much is scary.
I will say on 2 separate occasions, Moxie, you see a figure skulking about that you find suspicious.
Is it the same figure?
No, it does not appear to be.
Do they seem to be looking specifically or just looking?
It's less of a looking and more of like they are passing by and appear to be trying to not be noticed.
Is there anything that the two people seem to have in common?
I would like another perception check, please.
I would like to not have to give you that.
Well, I mean, you don't have to.
Can she have
But-
informed me after the first one so I can attempt to roll at the second?
No, I don't think it's suspicious until the second one happens. Okay. My dice clearly want you to know. So I will say on both occasions you catch just a brief glimpse of orange fur beneath the cloaks.
What about the cat people? Do I know any connection to Orange? Does this set anything off that
Lycra would have
Oh,
described the
Nibble.
assassins, but I don't think she saw orange fur on the assassins, right, Nibbles?
I will allow you a retroactive perception check for a description of the assassins. You only got to look at one, but yes, that individual also did appear to be a Rakshasa.
I thought it had black fur, so that's why I was doubting
The
it,
art
but-
did, but I will just caution you against searching the internet for art of female Rakshasas. It gets
Someone
very
has-
anime waifu. So the best I could do was a tabaxi.
Okay.
Okay, so then, yes, Lycra would have described a Rakshasa with orange fur as one of the assassins.
Yeah, I think with that, it's fair to put together that these are likely the same people.
Thinking about what I want to do here. Are they passing close to the building or?
Not particularly, no.
Does Moxie tell Lycra?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Do they look like they're watching this building, or do they look like they're searching this area?
I don't feel like I have an answer for that. Do I, Nibbles?
Yeah, difficult to tell.
I think I'm gonna follow.
Good idea.
Lycra will give
Fine.
Moxie bardic inspiration before she leaves, and a kiss on the top of the head. Good luck, young soldier.
Okay.
I need you to go open the door.
Lycra Lycra goes outside for a smoke. Lycra does not smoke.
Moxie pulls the same bullshit and misleads and stays up wherever she was before, and also goes out the front door.
Okay. So it seems to me, and I will accept arguments to the contrary if you want to make them, that there was enough of a time there that you probably aren't immediately following the second one you saw.
No, I think. Okay, I'll be honest. Brain forgot to share part of the plan. I think she wants to follow a third one if it pops up.
Okay. In that case, I will take an advantage stealth check and a regular perception check.
And you do have the bardic for either one.
What's the bardic?
D12.
Yeah.
This better be a good D12.
$16. All right. In that case, I will say you don't see anything after a brief period of time, but please roll a D100. I'll give you 1 through 5. Okay. So we'll say 20 minutes to a half hour passes. You don't notice anybody else passing by.
Lycra finishes her smoke and goes back inside.
Nothing that she can really do other than stay outside for a little bit before heading back in.
Okay. Another 20 minutes. Give me another D100.
Wait, did you say Lycra smoke?
I said Lycra faked going out for a smoke. Lycra doesn't actually smoke, but she went out for a smoke so that way the door was open for a reason.
Okay.
After another 20 minutes, nothing catches your eye, so you, I assume, head back inside.
Could have included the entire plan in the first bit. Oh well. Moxie will pass this information on to whoever's next up.
All right. Slightly switching tracks with Estella returning to the group. Was there any conversations that need to be happened? Apparently, everyone is asleep right now except for Lycra and Moxie.
I'm staying awake. I'm sitting in the room with the general.
Okay. You give me a perception check as well.
I already rolled, but I can roll again.
Oh, that's fine. What did you roll?
I don't know.
20. Okay. Yep. The general is sleeping.
Good.
Sorry. Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah, I'll go up to where they're doing their watch, so I don't wake the others, and say, "So, how'd it go?"
Overall successful. He does not yet seem to have understood that we are neutral/enemy agents. He seems to take us as friendly/neutral agents. I did not want to correct that, since better for him to take a banishment willingly if that's necessary. Lycra is going to actually be doing Whisper with this the entire time, just to be safe. Not Whisper, what's it called?
Message.
Message, thank you. Yeah, just so that way there isn't a third party listening in on us.
Okay.
I believe he is persuadable, but I also believe that his loyalty is strong enough that such a shift in opinion would take a lot of effort. He has honestly informed me his current plan is to return to the front lines to rejoin his unit, believing A, the kill order did not come from above, and B, that with his unit he would be safe from further such silly actions. Lycra will provide her with the kill order just so she can inspect it herself.
Okay. How trusting of us does he seem?
Should I do a insight nibbles?
No. You think right now most of his trust is stemming from the fact that he hasn't figured out who you are. You don't know how he would react once he does.
Mm-hmm.
Does Lycra feel like he has more trust in her personally than the group as a whole?
Yeah, I will say you have put in some work towards that end, yes.
I would hope, showing up at the assassination and all.
Okay.
My statement would be, I think he takes the neutral third-party thing too casually and thinks we're still at least somehow aligned with his country. So he's probably going to take a stronger reaction when he realizes we are not friendly units. Moxie also recently cited somebody patrolling the alley. If I had slots left, I'd be searching for Rakshasas, but I am nearly tapped out. Rakshasas.
Rakshasas.
God damn it, I cannot say words apparently.
Okay. I still looks around to make sure there ain't anybody on the street listening in. I might have a way for us to cut Samurage's army down by a pretty significant margin.
That's a very useful solution.
But I think we're better off discussing it together. So, in the morning.
Has Estella ever explained to Lycra the effects of the pendant?
Nope.
Okay. Because I do have Mind Blank, which I would love to experiment with.
Have we seen or talked about these pendants at all, or this is just Stella side of things?
This is just Estella stuff so far.
Yeah.
And Corwin's not even here to give her shit.
Nope. Corwin's more worried about not having his entire group.
Vaporized.
Okay. So unless there was more to that conversation?
I think we'll see how things play out in the morning. Estella really wants to get to bed just in case the mystery caller calls her again.
Okay. In that case, let us... Who's going to be on third watch? And what were your perception rolls?
I was on first, so Kieran's Fast asleep.
Misa, she's
Okay. And what was his?
I don't think you rolled one yet.
No, doesn't look like that. So let's have a perception check from Ashish.
Oh, sheesh.
well.
All right. Yeah, your watch passes uneventfully. You don't catch any more sightings of the individuals that you were described. And I think at that point, everybody can mark a long rest. We will very briefly rejoin our magic group.
I'll promptly not take a long rest. I'm staying awake all night.
Okay, that's fine. 1 point of exhaustion for you.
And I roll Constitution?
Is that how it works?
It's how you've ruled it in the past.
No, that's actually how it works.
Give me a Constitution saving throw then. How do we determine the DC for it?
10 plus 5. 5 per each day I haven't slept. So first night is 15, second
Okay.
night is 20, and so on.
There you go.
I'm a little tired.
Just very briefly with the magic group, you can all mark down more enchanting. If there's any conversations you wish to have, there is nothing interesting that happens throughout the day.
This is day 3 of enchanting, right?
No, it's day 2.
2, yeah.
Okay, because I know I had Embers start on the thing immediately, like literally the second it was handed.
Yeah, so yeah, this would be the second
Good.
installation.
Was that thing actually important to make, or was it just to learn how to...
It's just, if you want to do a cantrip, you can. Otherwise, it's just practice.
I'm doing one, not for himself, for someone else.
Okay.
Over later.
I'm also doing one, and I feel like I don't have anything to add right now, but there'll be banter around, talky talk.
Yeah.
Embers banters with Andrea, and continues to be marveling at the concept of an elf with trees in their hair.
Okay. As you all attempt to sleep on the second night, there is a bit of a ruckus as the caravan halts and essentially a muster is called. Everybody steps out of, well, nobody else was in carriages besides you and the important people. But everybody gathers around, and you see in front of you a mountain pass that is utterly blocked.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
And the commander will inform everybody that the caravan will stay here, and a select group of important individuals will continue on foot in the morning after a rest.
Can Embers do a nature check to see whether they think the disaster looks natural?
Why?
I don't think you even need a check to intuit that it is not.
Embers kind of fades back to the rest of the group, and once they feel comfortable that no one else is listening, kind of leans into Andrea and whispers, "I think somebody did this on purpose."
The what? The whole mountain? What?
Yeah, no, I need to meet this. This is the work of a great druid.
All right.
This just laughs.
I think Corwin just has the look on his face of, this is someone who did not listen to briefings.
This is someone who has never seen a mage of that caliber since their circle stopped being a circle.
Okay, I understand.
Still
I
hasn't
just-
seen one.
It was just mentioned in the briefing specifically that we did this.
Was it in Ember's briefing?
Yeah, probably, honestly.
Okay. I didn't know how detailed the non-military briefing would have been.
Yeah, I think the basic gist of it was given to you.
They look like a child that just saw the handiwork of a master.
Quick question, Ty. We're still ending at 8. Is this accurate?
Please.
Okay. So, unfortunately, to just move things along, I will say that you all go ahead and go down for your long rest. At which point we will jump back to the other group again, real quick. I assume some conversations are going to be had in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance of you all leaving by a means other than walking out the door?
Barring convincing him to leave the city and us dreaming our way out of here, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's pretty unlikely.
In that case, after those conversations happen, which we will allow to happen next time, as you all are leaving to go about whatever business you have decided, as you step out onto the street, there is the typical traffic of a morning, people going to and fro. And as you are making yourselves known, the entire population of the street at once stops and turns towards you, and you hear a whistle as they assume attack positions.
Fun!
Oh boy!
And that is where we will pick up in a month or two.
What?
End of the arc.
Do we need to do rolls before the arc goes down?
No, we'll handle that next time.
Okay.
What?
Damn it!
I might have actually DM'd Nibbles and said, hey, why don't you leave us on a cliffhanger with this arc?
Okay.
Hey, Nibbles.
That's me.
50 days on the high quality necklace and 30 days on the coffee pot of doom.
Okay. The Coffee Pot of Doom was completed that night.
Yeah.
And the necklace is also completed. So I will work on those during the break.
Now
What?
we can have as much mayo as we want.
93 days on the scroll.
Forget all this aventuring shenanigans. We go in Mayo Factory.
So, here's the deal.
Oh.
I definitely won't be ready for next week.
Yep.
I can probably be ready for the week after, but I have a band concert on the 7th. So I guess we can just start late on the 7th, maybe?
That's fine.
Sounds wonderbar.
We can do a catching up and getting our gears ready on the 7th.
Yeah.
Can
So
you
you're not-
remind us, Jamie, just for us, if we want plan anything or do anything, where we officially left off physically? Were we still in Carcamont? Did we make it to the West Coast?
I'm
Western
getting
continent?
whiplash. I'm getting whiplash jumping from character to character.
We left off with Allie and her family going
Elsewhere.
to Insane, but I can't remember if you went with her or not.
I don't think we did because our plans are to go to the Elven,
Yes.
Who is Sally?
the little dragon girl.
Alright, so let me just get this correct. Next week won't be. We'll play a game on the 30th, and then we'll have a late start on the 7th.
Seems likely.
Or do you need
Yes.
2 weeks?
let's. Well, okay. Are people around on the 30th?
Yep. I mean, I'm not doing anything Canada Day. You're not doing anything Canada Day.
David, Ty, are you
Canada?
doing anything for Canada Day?
Just work.
I'll do. Probably working.
Okay.
We tend not to skip holidays for the most part.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we'll say session 30th. If I find that I'm more behind than I thought I was, I might delay it another week, but for now, let's say we're
Understandable.
gonna have a session on the 30th.
Okay.
I didn't expect to be ending right now.
I mean,
I thought
Nibble said that the end of the arc was coming soon.
Yeah, but coming soon. I thought it was a month.
We've been on this. I think this is honestly on par with one of Bancheris' longest arcs. Like, we've been playing this arc since March.
Yeah, this was, I think, the 14th session, but it's been more weeks. It's been at least 1 or 2 more weeks than that. Yeah, at least 2 more weeks than that.
All right, I need to go find Talon and go to work. Good night, everyone.
Okay.
Take care, Ty.
And I
Yeah.